We are back at it with another episode of Nick versus Everyone. And with me today is my future brother in law, Kevin. What is up, man?
What is up, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you having me on here. I'm so excited.
Let's
Let's go.
go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know that back in the day, you've always been interested in starting your own podcast and stuff like that. So when I asked you, I knew that you'd be down like right away.
Absolutely, man. I think the platform just conversing, getting deeper into thought, that's always been a big thing for me in conversation as a whole.
Yeah, and you've always been a pretty easy person to talk to and all that good stuff.
Appreciate that, man. I
And
try.
yeah. So that's probably one of the first things that I remember about you is that in the very first time I met you, I think was it for Nate's wedding? Was the first time I met you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was a whirlwind so fast. That happened so fast, man.
I just remember I was like, damn, this dude be asking me too many damn questions.
Yo. Yo. No, that was
No, I'm just playing. But for real,
yo.
though, too many questions. But no, it's like where I come from,
Yo.
like people don't ask, like they're not interested. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
the fact that you made an effort to try to like get to know Nate and myself as Cindy's brother
Absolutely.
and stuff like that, that was a positive thing that I
Hmm.
thought of. But it was definitely unusual in the fact that that was different for me for sure.
Yeah, dude, I get that a lot. You're not the first person. That's just who I've always been. Like growing up, I've always been the person to ask why, and it's like a why after the why as to why until my mind is like, oh, okay, well, I have a whole picture. I'm happy. My brain is satisfied. I can move on. It's I've always just heard stories about you and Nate, just growing up all the time, and well, from Sid,
Yeah.
and you had this picture of these two handsome twins, both guys that are completely like when they're together, they are cohesive and like they just get each other, but as an independent individual, they are their own person.
uh,
And I heard like you were even more inquisitive and you are very observant of your
uh-huh.
like just as who you are, and that's always made me just curious to get to know you because you don't speak too much. Like you don't word vomit at all.
Uh-huh.
Like you've seen me like how I am like when we get together and stuff. Like I can talk, I can definitely talk, but
Yeah.
you always think and like structure the way you say things. You're always
Yeah.
thinking and processing everything before you
Hmm.
say something, and just me and Sydney start blah blah.
Yeah. I think talking was a skill that I learned through experience.
Okay.
I'm naturally a shy, quiet person.
Okay.
I actually enjoy being in a room by myself and just deep into my mind and my thoughts, whatever I'm doing, whether that's music or just whatever.
Hmm.
Just like kind of going deep into focus, deep into my mind. So growing up, I would say I was more of a shy kid.
Okay.
Um, and then through the years and things like that, I've kind of developed the skill of talking to people and having a conversation
Okay.
and things like that. So when it's me being observant, sometimes that was just my natural. I feel like it's my natural thing of just like being quiet. And a lot of times, like when I start, when I'm not comfortable,
Hmm.
I'll go right back into that. So if I'm not
Okay.
comfortable in a scenario or a room or whatever it may be, yeah, I get real quiet real quick.
You just quiet up and just step up, stand up and just walk out and just
Yeah, just smile,
yeah.
like just smile, like I'm having a good time, like yeah, everything's great. And if I'm not comfortable, I get really, really quiet. But yeah, I've learned to yeah, to adapt to whatever kind of is going on. But
Sure.
so I wouldn't say obviously with podcasts having conversations is not
Right. Very
it's
true.
not bad now, but yeah, definitely in the beginning, probably when I was younger and Sydney was younger, I was probably the more uh, yeah, quiet one. I would say,
Hmm.
um, in a situation I wasn't comfortable in. But
There.
yeah, I'm curious what type of prep did Sydney give other than what you've already talked about when it came to
Oh, thank
when
God
it
you
came
asked
to
this
us.
follow up question.
I'm curious.
It started off with the late night Taco Bell runs.
Okay.
It started off with that.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, like, you have brothers, like, you know, hello, like, where you guys at? Like,
Yeah.
and as story continues, I get to understand your background and where you guys are. I'm like, oh, okay, sounds cool. But like, how was it? And she was like, it was always like summertime. So you guys would come down and spend time with them, and it was like always adventure packed. You guys were always doing something,
Yeah.
and it was always a emphasis on the good times. That's what she always told me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's where like I was like, Sid has had a relationship with you, but more of you both, you and Nate, getting more adult in the sense of like the college years was kind of blank in that way. You guys kind of saw each other, but not as much.
Yeah.
And now you're your own person. I was like, okay, I wonder who they are now. Like,
Yeah, so when we were young, we would spend the whole summers because
okay,
we weren't really in sports.
okay,
So
okay,
once we got into like high school, we had football, which was during the summer, right?
okay.
So that it went from spending, a couple months with them
Hmm.
to a couple weeks,
Okay.
starting in like high school. And then in college, um, we'd come down in like a couple weeks maybe,
Hmm.
but we're working and doing other things and stuff like that and taking summer classes or whatever it may be.
Right.
So it went from months to weeks once we got um, older. But
Okay. Okay.
obviously it was always hard because they lived so far away,
Yeah. That's
and and yeah, like all of our support system really is like in
it's
Michigan,
absolutely. Yeah.
and we always enjoyed going out there,
Hmm.
for the most part. But like you said, yeah, it was like, all right, we only got Nick and Nate here for 2 weeks. Like, let's make it like the best it can be. Let's have all of our favorite foods. Let's have every
Right.
single day was planned out essentially, and all that good stuff. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, when we were there, at least when it was just shorter duration, it became, all right, every day we're doing something, some big event, whether it's a water park
Hmm.
or whatever. Everything was planned. But those days where it was months, those are the days where it was just like, all right, we're just hanging out and playing video
Oh,
games and staying up all night and
yeah.
swimming in the pool and all that good stuff. So yeah, it definitely was a little bit different. And Sydney was so young as
Right.
well.
Right. Oh man,
S-
she's so funny when she describes her stories about you you picking on her. I was like, yeah, no, that's exactly what I did with my sister. Like it's
uh,
like you're not alone. Yeah, they would take the toy from me and then run around and then toss it back and forth. I was like, are you sure not talking about my childhood? That's what I used to do with my
yeah,
sister all the time.
yeah. You got
Yeah.
to toughen them up, man.
Bro, I remember this is I think to the point of she's had to toughen up in that sense of like little tough skin. It was hilarious. It was
Hmm.
like one of the first years of knowing each other, and we were staying in Walstenburg together. And we got back after a day of errands, and Sid and I started like roasting each other. Like we started cracking jokes, and she started like back to back roasting. I was like, "Come on, like throw it at me. I got you. I can dish it. Like, come on." And she started going. I was like, "Oh, good. Yeah, 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 yeah." And then I
Uh-huh.
said something like about her head. And she went straight puppy dog eyes. And she's like, why would you say that? And I was like, what? Dude, I was just, what? Like,
uh,
oh my God. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I used to take her like baby doll and like throw it down the stairs, and it's like, oh, I broke his neck. She's like, not my baby doll. I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Ah."
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah,
But
she's
yeah, yeah, yeah. We did a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was much different from when we weren't there, from when we were there, as far as that type of stuff goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all in good fun and stuff. And shit, there's
Absolutely.
such a, I mean, there's a decent age gap between me, Sydney.
6, 7 years, is it?
Yeah, so there's a pretty good age gap, and I feel like at when she got old enough to actually be like more of like a person
Yeah.
is when we kind of stopped coming around as much. So, and it's not like they ever really came up to Michigan to see us. So like,
Facts.
so I think they went to like one basketball game maybe when I was in high school or something like that. And so like there was a whole world of me and Nate that
Just
she
completely
probably
blank.
has like no idea
Yeah,
like about
absolutely.
anything.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it would have been sweet to have her around and stuff like that. But I feel like in the last couple years, we don't get to see each other that much still. But I think we're still kind of, it's weird. We're brother and sister, but we're still trying to you know get to know each other in a way.
Yeah, I yeah, and to see it from the outside perspective, and obviously not blood, and I always say third party. That's what I call it. And seeing you guys interact, you guys, it's not hard for you guys to be brother and sister at all, at all.
Hmm.
It's more of those external circumstances that have made things complicated. But as soon as you guys get together and
Hmm.
talk to each other, it's never been an issue at all.
Yeah, it's all fun. It's all fun. It's all
Yeah.
chill. Like I mean, like we know each other obviously, so like,
Right, right.
it's almost like things never like changed or anything like that
Not at
and
all.
stuff,
Not
and
at all, man.
we always joke around and all that good stuff. So it's always fun. I feel like I know Sydney pretty well, um, uh, just from you know
With that age gap, you
profiling
kind of
her and
understand where she's been as well.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh. And so yeah, what else did she give us? What was the good? What was the bad? I'm just curious.
she said that
Was
you
she
were a
just
little.
like she was just like, dog, they
No.
will whoop your ass. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, she would never have suspected this. So I'm so excited. She's gonna
uh,
kill me tomorrow, but it's gonna be okay.
yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
By the
Everyone
way,
will know the truth.
Me and Nate are not fighters, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, like she said that one point you guys didn't have growing up, at least you didn't have the best relationship. It was more of her and Nate had a more solid relationship. But that was
That's
I think
interesting.
because you guys I think it was because you picked on her more than Nate. And she just said it more than Nate as such, yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Maybe I did.
throwing
N-
throwing babies down the stairs and breaking their necks. I don't. As what a
yeah.
4-year old. That's probably like life traumatizing.
I
Holy
see
crap,
that.
my baby!
I see that. I see that. Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, not saying it's not funny, but yeah, like
I was
that's.
probably a little bit bigger of a. I'm definitely more of a wild card than Nate. Let's just say that.
I can see that. I can
So
see that.
yeah, I could see that too. And Nate is more of like a people pleaser than me.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
me, the intent is always good intent, but I'll
If you make someone
if
upset, it
I
doesn't
think if
bother
I
you.
think something's funny, then I'll do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh my god.
uh,
To
but
me,
yeah.
in that sense, you have sometimes like more energy, like bursts of energy than Nate does. I have never seen like besides when we were at Thanksgiving when he had a little bit to drink and he would start dancing to the music when we had that bonfire. That man was buzzing down to some Usher, and that was the most energy I've ever seen my man put out.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny because yeah, he definitely has that like I would probably say that I'm more in your face, but um yeah, I would say Nate him getting up and dancing in front of a bunch of people is like right up his alley type of deal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when were in college, we used to like perform, um, like on stage and
What?
stuff at like these like Asian events and stuff like that. So
No way.
yeah, yeah.
Is there footage?
Nate did it. Yeah, Nate did it more than me. We were part of the Filipino Association, and
Okay.
so there'd be like events throughout the year. Like all one of them was like all these Asian organizations would get together, and Asian people
Wow.
love to dance, so they would have like an event where a bunch of people would perform, their montage or their dance
What?
or whatever. And so yeah, Nate was like one of the leaders of the crews and stuff, and choreographed his own dance and taught it to the people and stuff like that. So, I think that even since high school, I mean, in high school we were dancing it like legit, like dancing at like homecomings and stuff. Like we were never necessarily like shy people for the most part. So like,
Man, I still
yeah.
haven't danced like that. You've seen me. It's very minor, but like I've never like to be able to dance like that and then have the confidence to dance in front of like other people. I always thought that's like the next level. Like it's just I'm here, and then you have this like you know what? I can bust some moves and know I'm doing it well. What's up?
Uh-huh. No, even though I know how to move, it definitely still is like nerve-wracking when like people try to like have a circle and they're like they know you can dance. That's the worst thing, dude. Oh, that's the worst
I
thing.
would
Listen,
panic.
when people know you can dance and there's a circle forming and there's people be like they're egging you on, right? They're like, dude, go on, we know you can dance, go on.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, man, I'm just trying to chill, like I'm just trying to vibe, like I'm not trying to impress anybody, I'm
Yeah.
not trying
Right.
to perform for anybody, like I don't want the attention, like I'm just here to chill. And then there's always that like drunk girl, and let me tell you, like this has happened so many times. There's always that drunk girl that's like physically trying to push you into like your back into the thing, or like pulling on your shirt, like trying to pull you in. I'm just like, dude, this is getting awkward. So, and you're just like me, like I'm just smiling like no, 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 but everybody's like, this is weird, this is weird.
Like, is he gonna do it or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So I don't really like going in the middle of circles or anything like that.
right.
But when it's everybody dancing amongst each other, it's always fun. But yeah, Nate is definitely he is an outgoing person for real, but yeah, not as I guess just out there as me, more in your face. He's more just subtle and doing his thing.
Definitely. Definitely. But
Yeah.
what else did Sid say? She didn't really say too much. She was very fond of the Taco Bell. The Taco Bell.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that was one of the things that was like a family tradition.
mhm.
So my dad, he would work late when we lived in Reno, and he would come home and wake us all up and have like Jack in the Box tacos, which are like the worst tacos in the whole entire world. But they're like, to this day, I'm still like fond of them because
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
of those memories. So like, yeah, there was always every single time we went there, there was a few things on the checklist that we had to do, and one of them was like late night, like Taco Bell or
Dang.
whatever, and get tacos.
Dude, we just went to came back from Charlottesville yesterday for a little birthday getaway, and we ate out about like late night, so like around one,
Yeah.
twice in a row. Dude, right now I'm still dealing with some like acid reflux. I can't do that crap anymore, dude. I can't do that. No.
Yeah, yeah, same. Like if I'm getting to that point where like, especially like if I drink or something like that,
Mhm.
like it's like over. Like I can't do it at all.
No, man, that I was not expecting Charlottesville, Virginia to have a really good food like scene, but that was some of the best food I've ever had. Thai food,
Hmm.
fantastic.
Is it near a
Um,
college?
yeah, of UVA actually.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah, yeah. The food, dude, it was astounding.
Yeah,
Very, very good. Oh
yeah.
yeah, we
It's
went to a place called Uma's that had this. They cut up boneless, skinless chicken thighs and they would fry it like Korean fried chicken.
Uh-huh.
And they had two flavors. Like they only have ever have two flavors from what I know. Was a zesty pickle ranch, which of course you already know who chose that, Sid. And then I got the spicy honey garlic and pro.
That sounds
Oh my
exactly
goodness.
like me and Rachel. Like Rachel would get the ranch and I'd get the spicy garlic.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah. That's the thing is like so Virginia is like very south, right? And yeah, you're not going to get much uh what's the word? Not variety. I guess it is
Diversity.
variety, diversity unless you're like by a city or like a college.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh man, because like the rest of the, as soon as you left that town, ding, 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 ding. No.
Bing a bing ding ding
Yeah.
ding bing ding 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 ding
God.
bing.
Freaking man, like a truck had like just two swinging Confederate flags. I'm just like, man,
Yeah.
you must be pissed you married your sister. Like shit. I
Yeah.
don't mind.
Dude, I've had some pretty crazy just like stories about the South and stuff like that. Uh
Was
when
that
you
when
get
you were like traveling a lot?
yeah, when I was traveling for marketing, um we went to like the hills of, West Virginia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And sometimes we'd go to like factories and stuff.
Mm,
So it's like deep into the hills, and stuff like that. And one time, and I know that you spent a lot of time in Orlando.
yeah.
One of the craziest things that I've ever seen. So people don't really see Florida as like a southern state, you know,
No, they
as
don't.
like the South, but it's very South. And So we were like, I forget, we were near Orlando somewhere. And it was, so the crew that I had was me, the only Asian. Um, we had two black guys and the rest white people, like four or five of us. So it was like a crew of us, right?
Okay.
And we were like in the dust somewhere. Like it was just dusty there. It
Okay.
was uh, pretty country,
Okay.
and they wanted to go eat at this bar. Now this bar it was painted like they painted themselves camouflage. Okay, like they painted like whoever it was.
Oh no.
This bar was like all like not brick. What I guess it is brick, but the big brick, not like the nice little bricks like this, but like the big white cinder
like
blocks.
like
It
cinder.
was like
Okay.
cinder blocks, yeah.
Oh.
So it was like cinder blocks all the way around. It had it was painted camouflage and stuff like that, and they're like, dude, let's go here, like da, da, da. Like, and then me and the two black guys were like, do we really want to though? So we end up all going there, right? And it actually wasn't that bad. The bartender says waitress there, she was actually from Michigan and ended up being from Michigan. She was really nice. I think I got like fried alligator for the first time there. It
Oh.
was a pretty like fine experience
Okay.
in there. It was pretty empty, not many people there. I don't know if we were getting side eyes or whatever, but we were just like within our group talking, having a good time. So
Good.
ultimately it was fine. But so when we were the crazy part is when we left, okay, and I mentioned we didn't get any, I didn't see any side eyes. So there was trucks out front. There were some pickup trucks of people that were obviously in that restaurant at that time. Okay. And so one of the trucks had a bumper sticker,
Oh, sad.
and the bumper sticker said, if I knew it was going to be like this, I would have picked my own cotton. And then me and the two black guys were like, yeah, let's get out of here now.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah. So then, ever since then, we're just like, yeah, we're just gonna order in. We're just
Dude,
we're just gonna get fast food and dip. Like, so when people,
why?
when you talk about like Florida and stuff like that, I'm just like, I don't think people realize how south they can be there, especially when you get into the country. Not good.
Exactly right. So growing up, the way I did, I remember, I don't, and I can't say accurately, but I know we moved. I was born in Rhode Island, and then we moved down to Florida, and we moved a couple places within Florida. And then when I was 14, we that was our um, last time being in Florida. I never went back. 100% correct with that statement. That it is a super diverse state culturally, but you have pockets. You have these pockets within the state that are, hey, yeah, no, you're gonna see some shit, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like either not shit, like in the sense bad, like you're gonna be in either Kissimmee, which is like itself a little Puerto Rico, so you're gonna be just with all the good food and shit, and then you obviously you have Miami, which it's its own. It should be its own state because that thing is its own beast, and
Mm-hmm.
then Panhandle as you go up North Florida Panhandle. That's considered uh, its own like second portion of Alabama. It's super country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as you're central, like you probably are because Orlando is central, you can find pockets of people that you definitely didn't want to be around. It got easily very sketchy, especially at night. It got quite sketchy at those places.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like just shocking to me that someone would put that on their car in the, I don't know, it was like 2016 or something like that, and proudly like put that out there. And then potentially like I was, now one of the two like other like black guys I were with were just like pretty big dudes, so like
That's probably why they didn't do shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
so nothing went down or anything, but you knew whoever was in there was just like eyeing us up heavy. And
yeah.
yeah, not good. So now that, yeah,
So that
uh,
ruined that experience for you for ever going back to Florida
I
or at
mean,
least Orlando.
like the state isn't as cool as what people think it is, like from Michigan, in my opinion. Like I've
Huh?
been all over there. I've been down to, Miami. I've been to uh, uh Tampa Bay.
It's
Uh
not a very nice place.
yeah, Miami sucks too. Um Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville,
Jacksonville's
Orlando,
depressing. Jacksonville's depressing.
Panama City Beach. So I've been like
Yeah,
every,
you been to the popular places. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, and then like traveling, and then the non-popular places I don't even remember what the cities were, because we did
Hmm.
like a whole, like every day we would go to a different city and
That's
do an
insane.
event. And so driving from those places and the small and big places, yeah, it's not as cool of especially when you get in the middle where like it's like a lot of swamp and stuff.
Yeah, the
So
Everglades, man.
when people say, "Yeah, I want to go down there and retire," I'm like, "Nah."
My mom told me that there was a time where we lived in Fort Myers. It's about a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale. She's like, Kevin, there was like times that looked like you were playing with the crocodiles and alligators because it's like that's just how Floridians are. They cohabitate with
Yeah.
these dinosaurs like it's
Yeah.
nothing. I don't know if I ever told you the story about Kelly Lake. Does that sound familiar?
No.
No. There was where I lived growing up outside of Orlando. It was called Apopka, and there was a river that would run just outside the town. And like you just said, our town was kind of diverse. It had a little bit of everything: Hispanics, black people, and white people. But as soon as you left, straight up country.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like a tradition. Floridians don't have anything better else to do with their time. But within Kelly River, they would go tubing down the river because it was always a flowing river. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, cool. But it turns out that Kelly River is infested with alligators, and they would go tubing with these alligators.
Yeah.
And at least every summer, there's a couple of deaths in Kelly Lake, but they proceed to just keep
Like
going
keep
down that
going.
lake tubing. And I remember like being asked, like as a like a classmate in middle, like elementary school, middle school, like, "Hey, we're going to Kelly Lake. Why won't you come?" And I tell my mom, and she's like, "Oh, hell no, no!" And of course, my ass, when I'm little, I'm upset about it. But like,
Yeah.
obviously, as I understand the story now, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no desire to go down to Florida, and it gets so humid and hot. It's like 80, and
Absolutely,
like even when it's like 80 is super hot there because of how humid it is.
the
And
humidity is
yeah,
stupid.
yeah, with that experience from the restaurant and all that good stuff, I'm like, dude, I have no. When everybody's like, dude, I kind of want to move to Florida, I'm like,
No, dude.
dude, I wanted to take one of those cinder blocks and like throw it through the guy's windshield. I was like, this is unreal, like
Dude,
stupid, but
that's so much hate. Oh my god.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I've been in a lot of places and things like that, but um, yeah, I have a lot of stories
Yeah,
when it
I
comes
bet
to
you did.
my
How much did
travels.
you start? Like, how much did you travel for that job within a time span?
Mm, I forget how many events it was. I want to say like 60 different cities or something like that.
What,
In like maybe 4 or 5 months, something like that. 4 or 5 months.
dude?
So like Monday through Friday. So we do 5 events a week. For those 4 or 5 months. So
Wow.
was at 20 places a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was like 3, 4, 5 months. So yeah, probably over 60 places or something like that. So we went all the way Michigan, Texas, all the way down to Florida, and then pretty much anything east of like Colorado.
Okay.
Uh, a lot of the times that's where we went. So Virginia, did a few things in the South. I think we only did a couple in like North Carolina. We spent like a month in Texas.
Wow.
Um,
That is this, dude. Talk about a big ass state. Like, I didn't realize it until being and driving through it. How big
yeah,
of a state that is, man.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty. Yeah, it's huge, and barbecue's great there. I actually liked being in Texas. I didn't mind it.
Like, I would say El Paso wasn't the best representation of Texas.
Oh, for sure not.
We went to
Yeah.
Dallas. We spent a night in Dallas on our way back,
Hmm.
and we loved it.
Yeah.
We loved Dallas, especially downtown Dallas where we stayed at. It was so fun.
Yeah. I the one city I haven't been to there is was it Austin
I've heard many,
that I
many
like to check
mixed
out.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that I like to check that out. Um, but yeah, we we would just drive from. It was driving, not flying to these
Oh,
places. So it was
dang.
so all over the place. I mean, it was fun, and the sucky thing is like Instagram and like social media and stuff like that weren't that big at that time.
Oh,
And so I could have totally been like a travel
blogger.
like
Yeah,
vlogger for
absolutely.
free, and like I got my food paid for, like all this stuff was like free travel and all that stuff. I probably would be popping.
Absolutely. The
Yeah.
Filipino Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, it was sweet
Marketing.
because there used to be there probably still this app. There's used to be a TV food app that you could get, and it was an app that showed you if a place was on TV or not. So it was
Oh.
like Google Maps just for places that were on TV.
Ooh.
So as I was traveling and all that good stuff, I would like my one of my favorite shows at the time was Man versus Food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I would go to like a bunch of those places that he went to and like experience whatever he was eating or whatever. So
What was the biggest plate you had to eat or tried to eat?
I mean, I didn't try any of the challenges,
Oh, okay.
nothing like that. But like
Oh,
for
okay.
instance, in I think it's Amarillo, Texas. He did like this 72-ounce steak challenge,
Oh
and then
my
he had
god.
to eat like a baked potato and then like some shrimp and then like there was like a bunch of things and then they knew they were on the TV so they had a mini version of that. So they had like a regular person, like it was like the same items but just like
Yeah,
the mini regular
that's
size
what's
thing.
up. Okay.
So I ended up eating that there, but there was someone actually doing the challenge when I was there, like up on the stage.
Crap. 72 ounces of sweat. I mean, of meat. Like,
Yeah,
I was saying that because I've gotten to meat sweats, and I couldn't imagine like 72 ounces of just. Oh man, no,
yeah,
I couldn't.
yeah.
God,
I had a really awkward interaction with the hostess.
no way. Ugh.
The hostess there. I walk in and like so Amarillo is very much um like it's like the capital of like cattle.
Oh,
So like a lot of like the beef in America comes from Amarillo.
I did
So
not
it's like
know
a
that.
huge, yeah. So that's why that challenge is there was like a big steakhouse and things like that.
Okay.
So not a crazy diverse place at all. But
Mm.
I walk in by myself. I was doing something, or this was actually not for that marketing tour. It was a different thing I was doing. So I was just by myself, and I just wanted to go to this place because Man versus Food was there. So I walk in, and there's a girl at the stand, and she goes, "Are you Asian?" Like, hey, not how you doing, not like, um,
Are you
you know,
real?
how are you? Is it just one of you? How many? Like, it was just like, are you Asian? And I was like, she might have been said it a little bit nicer, but like, sorry, this is weird, but are you Asian? I don't know what. So, she asked me if I was Asian. A long story short,
Yeah, right.
and I go, yeah, like half. And she was like, you are the prettiest Asian I've ever seen.
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
What's
Yeah.
up?"
Um, man, if that's your way of
It's
complimenting me, it's not working.
yeah, yeah. I was like, "You're not wrong, but
But yeah, right.
I'm just trying to get a steak." You know what I mean? I'm just here because Man versus Food.
Look, I
Uh,
appreciate you buttering me up, but I'm here for the steak, honey. Like
yeah,
that's it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah. I always remember that. I was super awkward. But shout out to her for shooting her shot. But yeah, I was just there for the challenge.
Dude, that was that whole situation of like a woman shooting their shot. I've had that happen to me like at a restaurant and at work before, and I just like I do the same thing. I'm like, like thanks.
Aha! Ha, ha.
Respectfully, I'm gonna acknowledge you shouting out, like trying with me, but I have a fiance or a wife, so no.
Wait,
But thank you.
how did you and Cindy meet?
Ah! Hmm.
To go on top of that, how did you and Cindy meet?
Yeah. Homegirl shot her shot. That's what she said. Oh my gosh. So, how we first met, I was working at Zoe's Kitchen, a Mediterranean restaurant in Greenville,
Hmm.
and it was like, dude, straight lunch, lunch rush. We were doing about like $1,000 hour, just mad business coming through. And your sister, along with Jody, her mom,
Uh-huh.
has the balls to pull me inside and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but has anyone ever told you look like Steph Curry?" And I was like,
Dude,
"No, I kid you not.
dude,
I
dude,
kid
dude,
you not.
dude,
I
dude,
dude,
stop.
I kid you not.
Hey,
Kid you not."
dude, 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 that looks so bad on you.
Dude,
Oh,
I heard.
no,
I,
no, because it worked.
oh, oh no! That's a. Oh. Well, you. Oh shit. Well, okay. To save that part, I looked at her and I said, "Oh no, and I walk to the back of the house and I continue on with my day. Not until like a couple weeks later
Uh-huh.
did we talk again, and like things were just like, oh, okay, like we're far better interaction. We can actually get to know each other. Absolutely.
So she came in back to to the restaurant, and she was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm the girl that called you Steph Curry."
Yeah. And I was like, oh, hey. And you know what I asked? I was
uh,
like, I'm sorry, like, you're extremely beautiful, but if you don't mind me asking, what's her nationality?
uh,
And I could, dude, when I first met her, I could have sworn she was Hispanic.
uh.
And she was like, oh, I'm half Filipino, half white. I was like, oh, okay,
There's
cool.
not a lot of those around here.
I was like, all right, all right. And then she asked me mine, and she, like, I was like, I'm Puerto Rican. And she was just like, oh, hello.
M- Mommy likey.
Yeah. Like freaking Target locked. I was like, God.
Oh, dude. I've
Oh.
had people say some wild things to me like, you look like Usher. You look like Chris Brown. You look like Drake. No, I don't.
Yo, the only one to this day, and I agree because I look like him, is I look like a Tampa Bay Marlins young A Rod.
Okay, I can kind of see it.
I like, and I was told that, and I looked it, and I looked at my dad, and I looked at this picture. I was like, he could be my father,
Uh huh.
and he was
Yeah,
like, you're not
I,
wrong.
I get that.
Yeah,
When I used to have, I went through a phase in college where I had, you know how Nate like wears his hair like kind of up.
your curly hair.
No, like it was, I would blow dry it and would have like that. I was super into the Temptations at that time as well, so it
No
was like
way.
my attempt of being a temptation, and it
Okay,
was like,
dude.
and it was
Okay.
yeah, and so at the same time, like Bruno Mars had the same thing going on when he had
Okay.
that phase, so of course, everybody thought I looked like Bruno Mars when I had that. So like once people be like, "Do you know you like?" Kept on coming up to me like, "Do you know you look like Bruno Mars?" Then I was like, "All right, we done with this. Like shave. Like I like Bruno, but
Yeah, right.
I don't need people keep coming up to me. Any if I wear like a fedora or something like
Yeah,
that,
right.
yeah. They're like, "Do you know you look like Bruno Mars?" I'm like, "Do you know he looks like me?"
Yeah, yeah, all right. I originated this hairdo. Oh no.
It's funny that like people will like lean into that too. Like there's people that are lookalikes and they'll like just totally just like try to use it to their advantage. Where me, I'm just like, dude,
My name is
that
Kevin.
sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I am me.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree because I've never been one to be like, "Oh, you look like this." I'm like, "Oh, you look like X, Y, and Z. You look like yourself." Yeah.
Yeah, I don't I feel like this just bring makes me bring come up with a thought is like women are just have negative 1,000 game.
Yeah.
Like for real, like girls will be
Negative a
hating on
thousand.
dudes like dudes have no game. No, no, no.
No.
Like girls have negative 1,000 games, sir, and a
Mm,
half. Like
man.
like I've had like just been at a club with my friends.
Hmm.
I'm just hanging out, like watching other people dance, like minding my own business, and like girls coming up behind me, like walking past me behind me and like grab my butt. Swear. Yeah, sexual assault. Yeah, for sure. And so
To the
like
first degree.
yeah. And so like I look over and then this girl like, smiles and just like, "What's up?"
Yo, is that a dude? What the? The
I'm
cop in the
like,
field and everything.
I know. I was just like, uh, you thought that was gonna work, but it doesn't. I'm sure it does work though. That's the crazy
Absolutely.
thing. Like dudes will be like, "Yep, anything I can get. Here we go."
Yo,
Like I
yo.
love it. But me, I'm like, "Dude, what's up?" Like, yeah.
I what? No, dude. That's not okay. Because first of all, like I respect women enough, I wouldn't do such a thing. So also respect me because I'm not. No one
That's what I'm
randomly is
trying to.
gonna grab my ass.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like straight up. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
slap
and I'm
you
totally
grab my ass, you may get backhanded. You
like not good, right? It's just like, all right, ignore, right? And like, and so yeah, it's super awkward when I feel like there's never been a girl that has hit on me and it's worked.
I can't say the same.
Yeah, clearly.
She had negative 999%. That 1% gave her the chance.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that she was also with her mom. Like that's even worse. Like more.
You know what topped it off too? That she added
Yeah.
to it. She was like, and I was still with my ex. I was like,
Oh.
Sydney.
She was like, "What, mommy like you?"
Yeah, right. She said she was looking at me walk by. I was serving food. I was like, I'm not a piece of meat. I have a name.
Yeah.
It's not Steph Curry.
And then like fast forward to now, and now you're like serving her food after you cook it. To this day, that's what she saw.
She knew it.
She's like,
Damn.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
She
he got,
plot twisted me, man. Oh God.
he got potential.
Oh, we gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna put on my kitchen apron. I'm gonna call her. Be like,
Uh,
"Excuse me."
dude, I cannot wait until she listens to this episode,
Dude, me
and
too.
she's gonna hate it so
She's gonna
much,
be
and I
red in
love
the
it.
face.
So
Absolutely red in the face.
so I used to torture Sydney when we were little, and I still torture her to this day. It's still funny to
It
me, and
is
I'll
still
still
a
do
dude.
it.
So my thing recently with her, and it's so easy. She's gotten better with her gullibleness. Like she's not as gullible as she used to be.
she's
It's still pretty
she's
bad.
yeah, 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 yeah.
She's
That's what
still
made it
worse than
fun
like
for
a
me.
fifth grader.
That's what
That's
made it fun for me.
yeah,
No lie. Like
like so bad.
Nate was the dude though. Like back in the day,
Really.
Nate would just take a lie and just for fun see how far he could take it and like straight face you for the longest time. Like it was a game he'd play all the time and he was pretty
Yo.
good at it. So like yeah, killing Sydney all day long.
Oh no. So she was getting like not physically, but like by her products and by her toys were getting physically abused, and then she was getting mentally toyed with by her other
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Nate's like a really smart dude, right? So like whatever
Straight
he
out witty.
says is like, dude, he's probably smarter
Yeah.
than me. I'll go with it. Like, yeah, I trust him.
He's the Asian brother with the glasses, so you can't say he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, he would take like it was even in like high school and stuff, he would just like get people like so bad. Like
No
for as
way.
long as he would see how deep and how stupid he could get and people would believe him. Yeah. It's funny.
Yo.
It's one of those sidebars.
That's some psychological warfare. Damn. That's
Yeah.
pretty lit. That's awesome. That's awesome though.
Yeah.
What I get Sid with right now though has been scaring her, like hiding behind the wall, dude. And I've gotten so creative with it. Like I'll be having a
Yeah.
conversation with her and I just dip out.
Yeah.
She's in the like bedroom. It's like this time right now. I'm talking to
Mhm.
her. I'm in the kitchen. Lights off. Gone.
Yeah.
Babe, babe. And I go sometimes as far as like I go to the master and I'm like, and
Uh-huh.
she's like, and I'm like,
Dude, I
what?
could see her right now, and then when you scare her, she's like, "Oh my god, I just peed."
Yeah. Dude, I've gotten her sometimes like she's had to like cross the legs, like, oh my god, you must be ink. Like, oh my god, like stop. Ah,
Oh, my
it's
little
so sad. And she's
sister.
gotten me back. She's done good. But man, I've gotten her sometimes like I see her jump like higher than she's ever intended to jump before. She's soul leaves the body and she comes back. So good. It's so good.
She
Oh,
dunked a basketball and came back down.
yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. I love her. That girl, she's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah. Well,
She's crazy.
how's the wedding planning go? Let's see, it's almost March, so March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So 9 months?
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're counting down to about to be 8 months, dude. Dude, I'm excited. I'm. I'm beyond excited.
You guys
I've
gotten a lot of stuff done already, though, yeah?
Yeah, we really did. It was an expense, but I think that's been the biggest help is that wedding planner, man, has made the experience completely enjoyable.
That's good.
Um, like as far as scheduling, um, what he does specifically is going to be scheduling, coordinating, organizing
Mhm.
those three tasks. But as far as choice making, final decision making, and budgeting, that's all on us. So
Of
when
course.
we tell them, like, hey, we have this budget for this and this is what we're looking for, all right,
Mhm.
we're going to try to find some extra options. Let me know your days and I'm going to schedule appointments for you. And I'll be
Yeah.
there with you those days and I'll be your,
Yeah.
your advocate.
That's
Cool.
nice.
And
That's
then,
nice.
oh, yeah, 100%. And then he'll come back and send us an email like, yeah, hey, they loved you. Here's the contract or the receipt. Like, here's the estimate.
Mhm.
If you want to do more, let me know. We can continue on further and get a contract if needed. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
that's
think
what's
like yeah, I think like the hardest thing was that is we had a coordinator was like the best thing ever. Like
good.
someone should always have someone that's at least coordinating the day of.
Hmm.
Like if we would have and another thing is like babysitting like family or just like people that just reminding them, and be at the rehearsal dinner at this time, like, or just like just reminding people or whatever. Just keep reminding and stuff.
Yeah,
So like having someone to help with all that stuff, yeah, would is super super
I'm not looking
beneficial.
forward to those moments. I know. I remember seeing you, and you were just you did, and just kept on doing
Yeah,
your thing.
well, so that's something. See, people think I do that because like I'm stressed out, but I get sped up. And I'm
Okay.
not stressed. I'm not like, "Oh, I can't," like, I'm, like, freaking out. It's more like when I know that stuff needs to be done, it's
Hmm.
business, it's straightforward, and do it as fast and efficiently as possible. So, when I when I catch myself in those times,
Yeah.
I'll try to slow myself down and come back to real life.
Okay.
So that's me saying, like, "All right, Nick, slow down." 'Cause I just get going, like, I'm a racehorse, it's just like, boom.
Like a
Like, if I have a
pause reset
mission.
button, real quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nice.
So if I got a mission, I'm sprinting. I wanna
Yeah.
go, and I wanna get it done as fast as possible, so in those moments of, like, "Alright, the elevator door just shut," it's, like, kinda just, like, snaps me out of it, I'm like, "Alright, slow down, like, it's all
Yeah.
good." You
Okay.
know what I mean?
I see that.
Type of deal, but yeah, I don't like telling, like, grown people what to do for the most part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was probably like the if I got to remind like a grown person like 3 or 4 times to do something, like come on, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. That is a definite. It's a headache. It's a definite headache that you just didn't want to have to deal with. Not at
And
all.
it really didn't happen that much, um, but overall, I mean, we Rachel took on a lot of the planning. She pretty much did all the planning. I
Really?
mean, I mean, I helped her. I was involved with everything. Um, but she would come to me with like options, and then I would be like, "All right, this option, this is what I think. What do you think?"
Hmm.
Type of deal.
Hmm.
So she did a lot of the planning and all that good stuff. So she did a really good job. And then, I didn't want Rachel to be the politician of us too, so I kind of took that, took
Fantastic.
that, took that
Fantastic.
role type of deal. So, yeah, we she did a great job. And then having the coordinator the day of and all that good stuff
It ran
was,
smoothly that day, man. It ran very smoothly that day.
yeah, yeah, it was is one of the funnest days I've ever had. People
Good,
say
man.
that, and when people told me that, I was like, yeah, that's what everybody says. But it was I don't even think of anything bad like I could even take away. Like
Right.
people always just say that you don't eat, which is true. Like it's a mix of adrenaline.
Hmm.
Like all right, when you're about to do a jujitsu fight, like you ain't hungry. You know what
No.
I mean? Because of the adrenaline. Or
Yeah.
afterwards, you're like jacked up, like you're
Yeah.
just
You're
like
hyped.
buzzed up, like your appetite's not there, right? So there's a little bit of that when it comes to the not eating thing.
Hmm.
But you also have to be a politician and say like, go around to everybody, say hi because there's so many people. And
Yeah.
yeah, I felt like I was a president of the United States, like saying hi to everybody. And I was happy, and I wish I just had more time. It wasn't the fact that I had to do it. It was the
Right.
fact that I was just had no time, right?
Man,
Uh,
it did fly
um,
by. It felt like it flew by very fast.
yeah, yeah, it goes so fast. And we kind of put in times of just like, for instance, me and Rachel went back to our hotel room like after the ceremony
Hmm.
and got quesadillas, and it was just us two in the room chilling, like just
That's
without
what's
the,
up.
and everybody else was just like, getting their. I think we had like a cocktail hour or something where
Hmm.
other people could just do their thing, and it just allowed us just to like sit there and just kind of decompress for a minute and eat some food. And
That's what we have in mind to do is the same because that's 100% correct. I want to find a moment where I can soak it up and be kind of the same.
yeah,
This is a beautiful moment right now. Like
yeah.
I
I don't know if you remember, but the remember in our wedding where we like lit a candle?
yeah.
Yeah, and me and Rachel at one point was just like standing there looking at everybody.
Hmm.
That was that. It
Oh,
was just us to slow down and just like soak it all in. And
that's
because
beautiful,
it's just
man.
like it goes from like this. You walk down, you have to go at this time. You go up there, you have to put the ring on. You have to do it like da da da, step 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 step. And that was like by design to just slow down and allow us to like not let the moment and the tasks,
Wow.
uh, you know, take over everything. And it's over. It is over quick, but I think it was just super important to have something where you're able to just like take a minute to soak it all in. Uh, and that was, yeah, we kind of knew it was going to go by fast, so we try to find ways to, slow it down.
Did you guys the next day leave for your honeymoon? I forget.
No, no, we had we had another. I would not leave the next day.
Okay.
I would not leave the next day.
Ours, we already have ours planned. Our wedding's on the Friday. We have Saturday, Sunday. We leave to Aspen on Monday. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we wanted some
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we got married on a Saturday, and then we stayed in a hotel Sunday night by the airport, and then left Monday
That's
morning.
right. We drove you there. That's right. Duh. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know you guys are going to Aspen.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So we originally had plans for Portugal, the Azores, and um, as you know, not everyone knows, but like I thoroughly enjoy making presentations. I don't know why, where I got it from, but I love making presentations.
Uh,
So, like, with our honeymoon, I was looking around. I was like, what can I pass towards Sydney's way to see what she wants? Because she's been very explicitly adamant that she wants like a spa, like a day
uh,
spa that she can spend a day in there and just unwind, relax. I'm like, okay, I that's fantastic. Let me
uh,
see what I can do and find it. And like, just the time of year we decided to get married is the time of year that's the Caribbean is super expensive.
of course.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like the Grand Turks, bro. We looked at Grand Turks, nothing was like short of 4,000 a night. Like it was
Four
obs,
thousand a night.
bro. And we were looking at like
You
USA.
know what? We went to Turks, and we got our whole package or whatever
Hmm.
on Black Friday, and it was like over 50% off or something. So that was the only way that we could actually go there. But yeah, it's crazy,
It's
crazy expensive.
expensive. It's
Yeah.
expensive, and I didn't realize how expensive it was.
Yeah.
Um, and like I looked at Aruba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and I was like, I don't really want to go somewhere that is isn't just nothing special. Like, not saying Puerto Rico isn't special, but it's not something I can. It's something I can do and go see my family and then do for cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that doesn't make it special.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to find something unique. And I really wanted to do something like really emphasize a spa atmosphere because I've never really been to a day spa before.
Yeah.
I've really never had a professional massage before. So like, I'm so down to like dude, like just get a pile driver to my back because like
Yeah.
there's days that I get out of bed like after jujitsu, man. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
please do something to this back.
Yeah.
Um, and was like looking at all these beach places and it was just outrageously expensive. So I was like, okay, let me do the opposite because that's my brain. I'm like, if I can't find this, let me see the opposite and see if I can find the same answer.
Uh-huh.
And I started looking winter destinations. I looked at Quebec, beautiful place, absolutely beautiful places in Quebec,
Uh-huh.
like gorgeous. But Sid was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, she
Well,
wanted to go later, but definitely
I
not
mean
honeymoon.
that'd be cold as hell.
Cold as hell. Right.
like different cold.
Uh, um, so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you want to do spas? Are you okay with skiing? Like, is that like something you don't like? She's like, I don't mind it. I was like, okay. So I was
Has
like,
she
let me.
ever? I don't think Ksenia has ever skied.
She
Has she
says
skied
I think she
before?
says she has.
Maybe when
Dude,
she
I
lived
would
in
die
Reno, like
laughing.
close to Tahoe, but that's when she was like little. I don't I don't know if she's ever went skiing before. And if she has, it's been a minute. Uh,
I cannot
I
wait
feel
to see
like
this because I know I suck at skiing. I want to do snowboarding, but
don't don't do snowboarding.
don't do snowboarding.
Don't do.
Did you not enjoy it?
No, I didn't. So,
Oh no.
um so if you're I tried snowboarding. I never like did snow sports at all.
Yeah,
I
me
was like,
either. Ever.
snowboarding's is what the cool kids do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I've wakeboarded before
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I could probably do it. Like easy. It's like way more cool, way more fun. Dude, I spent the whole day yard sailing down this hill.
No.
like if the conditions aren't right, like it was more icy and it was my first time. I was falling down the freaking lift. I was like boom,
Oh.
hat flying, gloves flying, like
Yeah.
crawling up the hill to go get my gloves, like stuff like that. Woke up the next day, like had to roll out of bed, couldn't lift my neck just from all the
Damn.
whiplash and stuff. Because like it going heel is like easy, like
Mm-hmm.
but going your toe is a lot harder. And like there's just so much learning that has to go down. It's not just something that you get on and you just are good at it.
Yeah.
So if it's like your first time, like skiing's much easier. You can enjoy it more. You can look at the scenery. You're not as scared. It's like easier to stop on those with the
Okay.
skis. Like it's just more of a joy. It's way more less things can go wrong skiing
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
snowboarding. So like if you're only gonna do it like once, like I would say ski just because it's probably gonna be a more enjoyable
Out of it.
experience. Yeah, especially if you're not. I mean, if you've like snowboarded like a few times before, but if
Yeah.
you're just a newbie, like I don't know.
It wasn't the best. Where did you go for your first time?
It was a place up north, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not a crazy Aspen, but
Aspen.
um,
The
yeah,
only I've done skiing. I did that when I was a child when we were in Arizona. That was fun. I never
yeah,
did snow. Like you said, it was like the cool guy thing, and I did longboarding growing up. So I was like, maybe I can like tie that in into what I
uh huh,
because I've just been. I never skateboarded. I was never good enough for the foot tricks, but longboarding, I had enough
hmm,
stability that I could like do a little downhill without peeing my pants before ditching.
yeah.
So that's
That
what
might
I
help a
honestly
little
want to try.
bit.
A little bit. I would love to try
Yeah,
it. If like I start yard sailing and having to battle combat crawl my
yeah,
way up a mountain to get my
yeah.
gloves, bro. I'm gonna be like, you know what?
I
Something's
would
telling
check
me
in
to
with the
stop.
girl.
Yeah,
Check in the girl, be like, "Yo, if like this isn't going good by noon, can I come back and get some skis?" Like,
bro.
you know what I mean?
Y-
One time I like ate it so hard. I don't know how I didn't get a concussion.
Are you
Like I
serious?
don't even know if I was wearing a helmet. Like I don't even know. I don't remember. I don't think I was. I think I was just wearing a stocking hat. And I remember hitting my head one time and I was like, "Dude, I will never get knocked out in my life. I'm a savage." Like I don't know how I'm not KO'd right now.
I'm
But
unstoppable.
I definitely had to like army crawl to the side of
Damn.
the mountain, get out of the way of people, and just sit there for a minute and just like
Oh,
get my thoughts back
reorient.
together. No, I
Yeah.
wasn't like dizzy. I was just like, this is not fun. I just need to just sit here for a minute and
Dude.
and like I said, I woke up the next day and like I couldn't like lift my head forward. I had to just roll out and
Oh,
like, dude, it was
oh.
so yeah. I would say
I gotta
you
keep.
can try it.
I gotta heed some
Try it.
caution. I'm definitely gonna go like kitty. I'm gonna start like kids. You'll see a 27-year-old just, yo, what's up?
Yeah, and also like a lot of the fun like um runs,
Yeah.
like like I wasn't like able to do any of like multiple runs. It was like just this one or just this two because I wasn't
Oh.
good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I would ski, I could pretty much do any run
Right. Right.
I wanted to because it was much easier. So if you want to like really experience it, you can try snowboarding, but yeah.
I, dude, it's a little side quest, that's as I call it, compared to like the honeymoon. But I cannot wait to watch Sid ski. You know how clumsy she is. I cannot wait to see this. Like he's just skiing, but like going like 2 miles per hour in front of me, just like, babe, I can't stop.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. First thing is like
Pizza,
crisscross to
fries.
stop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would plan the massage either the second or third day for sure. The spa day,
Smart man, man.
not the
Like,
first day.
yo, oh my god.
Uh,
I hope to God, like, just uncontrollable.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, she's gonna want to hold on to you. Oh,
Oh,
there's another
absolutely.
reason why not to snowboard because she's gonna want to like be yanking on you and like holding you while you go down
Oh,
the thing, and you're
absolutely.
not gonna be able to keep your
Yeah.
balance.
She's gonna drag me down. She falls. I'm just busting ass. Yeah.
Kevin, Kevin,
Yeah.
stop going so fast.
Yo, exactly. Oh my god. She just said that to me this weekend. Like all of the group of friends were like taller than me, so we all have long strides. Homegirl's like to our
Yeah,
like 2 steps for every 1 step. I'm like, yo, you good over there? She's like, you guys walk so fast.
yeah, I
Nah,
know.
just keep up.
Rachel's the same way. I'm like, Rachel, I'm only 5'10". I'm not
Yeah,
that
like this is
tall.
average. This is average speed. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got those short little Filipino legs.
Oh, honestly, honestly. Oh yeah, yeah.
But but yeah, everything else going good with the wedding planning.
Absolutely. We are now looking at a second caterer. Not that anything went bad with Plan A. We just found a potential new Plan A and potentially cheaper. Um, they're about an hour and a half away from us, but they do business with our wedding planning team,
Hmm.
and they're called Funky Fresh. And our wedding planner actually is having their own wedding next year, and they were invited to do a tasting, and we were invited for free. So we got
Hmm.
all of to try Funky Fresh's all of their food for free, and their drinks and their
Hmm.
desserts,
Yeah.
and very very good. Everything was fresh and delicious. Their desserts, however, were like super standout. You remember Obviously, you remember you guys did the reviews for it, but crumble cookie. Imagine
Yeah.
that, just homemade, small batch by one person in
Uh,
donut form.
donut,
Donut form, bro. I
like the
had
round thing,
the
like Homer Simpson.
donut. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
And my favorite thing about it um, was it was cakey in the sense like it was a nice bigger donut, but it melted in your mouth like a Krispy Kreme. Like it wasn't cakey that it like was soaking up,
Like it was
all.
still light.
Yes, it was still light, but it had
Uh-huh.
enough like density to hold its form, so like it could hold the weight. Because this gourmet donut, the first one I had was a strawberry shortcake, and it
Uh-huh.
was a strawberry donut with buttercream frosting and little mini bits and pieces of shortcake in the middle of the hole, like in the donut hole,
Yeah.
and that was a strawberry shortcake. Yeah,
Nice.
dude. And it was like truly phenomenal. Truly phenomenal. Like I'd rather get those donuts than crumble cookie any day. I love
Yo,
donuts, man.
I didn't mess with crumble cookie.
After trying those things,
Yeah.
yeah, was it too sweet?
Oh my god, everything was like on 10.
Yeah, dude. They
Like they
jacked that
half
shit up.
Yeah, they turned all the notches up on that. So like it's $5 for one cookie, but that's because you can only like have like a twelfth of it before
Oh,
you're just
straight
like
up.
I'm straight. So it's like one of those things you just keep going and get a little piece and eat it.
Hmm.
And so they market it as like being fresh, but then it just comes off like overcooked
I
in a
see what
way,
you're saying.
I'm sorry, undercooked.
Because they do it so gooey and soft, right?
Yeah, and then when they have, I think we had like a peanut butter one we tried, and it was just like too much.
Oh,
It was like you couldn't breathe
I
because it
can
was
see
just
that.
so thick. And
Yeah.
yeah, 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 exactly. Whatever you just did
Yeah,
for sure.
what that was like for me, I enjoy crumble cookies like mine, like just the creativity. Absolutely, their creativity is awesome.
Uh-huh.
I think that their cookie itself is just too thick.
Uh-huh.
That it is like a cake instead of more than a cookie. And like you said, it's like that. My fucking the mouth, the noise I made is like ch- clumps up in your mouth. It's like
Yeah.
soaks up. I don't know. It dries my mouth
Yeah,
out.
it's like that nerd moment. It's like that Pokemon like slime it's like a slime dude. Like it's purple. You know what I'm talking about?
Muck.
Yeah, Muck.
Yeah, yeah, muck.
Muck.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's my mouth when I was eating it for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh no, man. That it was definitely an experience. I'm glad like combo cookies around. I'm always down for food, like learning to love food on all aspects in that, man. Like I am always appreciative when somebody can bring something new to the game and make everybody else kind of have to step up. You know,
Yeah,
um, that's like speaking of which, fast food, Mister McDonald's lover, Mister Number One McDonald's lover.
I love McDonald's.
I can't stand it, man.
What?
Like a fast food, I don't think the McDonald's is number one.
What?
Should I leave it on a
There's there,
controversial note right
th
now?
there's different tiers of fast food. So
American fast food.
there are fast food restaurants that I would say is better than McDonald's. But if you're just talking about like if you're going out to fast food and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna be satisfied. It's consistent. The fries are fire, and but there are like these like 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 Chick-fil-A is fast food, but I would put it in a different area.
They call it God's chicken.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's not like I would say McDonald's is like the lower tier, like the top of the lowest tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
there's like Culver's in Michigan.
Yeah. Oh, they have a Culver's here of all places. It's actually very
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Like that's a higher tier to
I
me.
call that fast casual.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like but yeah, I love McDonald's.
Were you ever a
Like
Burger King guy?
nah.
I was
I
never.
mean, I had them,
Whoppers
but
have always made me sick. Whoppers just do not agree with me.
I don't understand how Burger King has lasted this long because they haven't
Where
been
do they
that
get their money
tight
from?
for a
Is a good
minute.
question.
Yeah, they haven't been tight for a minute. But yeah, McDonald's is always a slap. After I played basketball, I would always get a fish fillet.
Oh, oh,
It was either a quarter pounder or a Big Mac because it would be like 2 for $5.
yeah, man.
Big Mac, fish fillet, a fry, and like a large drink. Smash that on the way home after just burning like 2,000 calories playing basketball.
Oh,
And
man.
yeah,
I think this is
yeah.
where our age gap shows that menu wasn't around when I was in high school. Because in football, for me, that was the place to go to after football was McDonald's. So I
Uh
do
huh.
give you like 100%. When I was in high school, McDonald's was
No,
it.
no, that was like college for me.
Oh shit, no.
I was still playing basketball like pretty regularly.
Mid like after the I would say the last year of high school, I switched from McDonald's to Wendy's. I love Wendy's.
I like
Yeah.
Wendy's too.
Um, Especially when they brought their new sea salt fries, like I was like, oh, I'm sold now. Now
Yeah,
they actually have decent fries. They have good
yeah.
fries. Um, but McDonald's, man, Like when I got out of football practice, I would go straight there and get their because they had like the deal of the $1 any size drink. So I got an
Yeah.
extra large sweet tea and I got two
That's so the
McDoubles and two
that's for sure
McChickens
the
from the dollar
South.
menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. Like dollar menus used to mean something.
Yeah. Oh, it's yes.
Now it's like the value menu. Now you're spending $3, $4 for a value menu item.
It's
Like
not a value anymore, bro.
a double cheeseburger used to be $1. And that was not that long ago.
No,
That
it was
was
not.
less that was like 5 years ago. It was $1, a double cheeseburger. And then they came out with the McDouble because
Mm,
and just took like one piece of cheese off.
absolutely.
So their profit margin would be just a little bit different because it was so successful. People were just like, frick yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah.
McDouble and the McChicken. I don't know how many I ate when I was in high school, man.
Yeah, in high school, that's all me. I didn't have any money, so whatever my mom would pay for, and like we just didn't go out very much, like
Hmm.
by ourselves. Like, hey, I want to stop at McDonald's because I didn't have no money. Like, I didn't have a job. I was playing
Yeah.
sports, but like when I started in college and had some jobs, I was able to get that 2 for $5 upgrade.
Yeah, making that money. Making that money. Yeah. Did you ever
Yeah.
try Taco Bell's dollar menu? Taco Bell had a dollar menu.
Nah, not really, because it went from something to nothing real quick. Like it was like a bean roll up.
It made me it
Nah,
dude, I was gonna say in college, that's what I had as well. And in college, dude, that destroyed me. That destroyed my gut. I could not
yeah,
handle that for long.
yeah.
No way.
What college did you go to?
I my first college I went to was Hood College in Frederick, Maryland. It used to be an all
Frederick,
girls college when it first opened, and then it did
uh,
co-ed like sometime in the 2000s.
yeah.
Um, I went
How'd you
there.
hear of that place? I've never heard of that
My
school.
mom used to work there,
No way.
so I would get
Okay.
free tuition. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
because no way could we afford that school. That school, dude, it was just stupid. For 1,300 students in total,
1,300 total.
1,300 total,
Uh,
60,000 a year.
as a private school.
Private liberal arts school. It was
Yeah.
hell of expensive. So
Uh huh.
when my mom worked there, I definitely was taking advantage of the fact she was there, and I made sure to do whatever I could while I was there
Uh
until we had to move to Greenville. Yeah.
yeah. Nice.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
the
There's
small
some.
school aspect a lot more than the bigger college. I did not like the
Hmm.
change to ECU at all.
Well, ECU's not tight though.
Was not a fan,
like
bro.
that's not a good representation of like
A big college.
a big college.
Mm,
Like I mean I went to um a mid major when it comes to sports. So it wasn't the University of Michigan,
mm,
but it was less people
okay.
for sure. Way less people. Like if you went to U of M, Michigan, you'd be like, I freaking love big colleges. Like it's sweet.
Is it
Like
truly
my
that big of a difference?
oh yeah.
Mm.
Like ECU's run down. Like it's not that nice, right? It's not nice at all. And yeah, Michigan is awesome in so many different ways. There's food. There's
Where's
a
the
good
best food you've gotten from Michigan?
at the U of M.
Really?
Or wait, just in the state or
Say in the
just
state.
like
Yeah, yeah.
best food I've ever had? Dude, I don't even know. Like
Y-
I have my local favorites, but it's more like sentimental.
Okay. I
You know what
feel
I
that. I
mean?
feel that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for instance, like one time me and my one of my best friends, Kevin,
Hmm.
um, we played in this basketball tournament in like a church in Flint,
Hmm.
Michigan. And afterwards we went to this gas station and they sold fried catfish behind like bulletproof glass at this place. And me and him talk to this day. We're just like, dude, remember that time? And it was like fresh or like, I don't know how fresh the fish was, but it was like hot and it slapped so
Did
hard.
it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even know where that place was. I don't know the name of it. like
That's
other than
hilarious.
me and Kevin were like sitting there eating it in his car, and we are just like, dude, this is so freaking good. Um, I have local favorites like in my hometown that I grew up in. Um, University of Michigan. I'm trying to think. Like, there's a pizza spot that I really like there. Um, but like I said, like I grew up with not that much money,
Mm,
so like really like going out to eat and stuff like that. Like if it was more than $15 for a meal, like $20 for a meal or $30 for a meal was like 5 star to me.
right,
So
right.
like, which wasn't like
That's
if you're paying.
perspective, though. That's a big
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah. So it was like Applebee's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that. What was that? The deal that they had like $5 appetizers or something. I don't even
Yeah.
remember what it was. So I really didn't eat at many like crazy good restaurants. Like one of the other time, like I had like Wolfgang Puck in like the MGM in Detroit.
How was that?
Like um was one of my favorite meals I've ever had. That was one of the first like high end meals I had.
Hmm.
And my aunt Jessie
Oh,
took us there when took us there, and we ate there. And me and Nate were just like looking at the prices on the menu, and like we were like, we don't know what to get. Like this is really expensive, and
wow.
like me and Nate were just like, dude, like I'm gonna get just like the burger, which is like the cheapest thing on the menu. Like I
Hmm.
don't want to get anything like crazy. And my aunt looks over to us, and I think she could like kind of sense like it's really. She's like, it's on me. Get whatever you want. And, we were just like, all right. Like, so we ended up getting like this steak, and it had like this. Um, we were used to having like steak sauce or whatever, but like it had like this. I don't know if it was like blueberry, but it had some type of sauce on it that was like super unique to us. So it was like our first time we were just like, dude, this is like really, really, really good food.
Yeah.
And we were just loving it. So yeah, I don't really know that many places in Michigan. I haven't really had a chance to like see some of the
How long
best.
has it been since you lived in Michigan?
A little bit over 3 years.
Wow, it's already been 3 years.
Yeah, a little
Wow.
bit over 3 years. Yeah, it's gone by fast.
Wow, it's already been 3 years, man.
Uh huh. Yeah,
That's pretty lit.
but yeah, ever since me and Rachel's move out here, we've had some been able to eat at some really really good
Yeah,
places.
good. Good to
Yeah,
hear.
really Michelin star restaurant, sushi restaurant. Rachel
Amazing.
got me for Christmas as a
Oh,
Christmas present.
heck yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
some
that
good ass
was
sushi. I bet that was delicious.
yeah, it was wild. It was cool. It was a Honor Bar. Or wait, hold on, not Honor Bar. It's across from Honor Bar. Sushi Bar. Yeah, it's called Sushi Bar. And I don't know what the style is called. It has a certain name, some Japanese name. But basically, you go there, you sit down, and there's like 16, 17 different um, uh, fish combinations on the menu. You don't get to choose. They just put it in front of you. They
Oh,
make it.
omikase, if I'm correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So you sit there
Correct.
and they make it in front of you. They're explaining what it is. Like you got to eat it right. The bone. Has bone marrow in it right now. You got to eat it right away. Don't let it sit. Da da da
Yeah.
da. So it's like super awesome and great and fresh and just an whole experience because they cook it right in front of you. They're explaining it.
Oh,
It's like a
I
whole.
love that.
It's a whole thing. You can also get like a tasting sake menu or something like
You
that
like
with
sake?
it. And I really haven't had that much.
Okay.
So I mean, it's um, I've had it before where it's like, it's all right.
Okay.
Where they really explain it's like, but the thing is like it was awesome, but there's also like people in there that made the experience not as fun.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Because where it was is this place called
Okay.
Montecito, and that's where like all the rich people live.
Mm-hmm.
Um, near Santa Barbara. Well, there's a lot of rich people in Santa Barbara, but Montecito is like where Oprah lives.
Okay.
Or like the Prince of England lives in Montecito too.
Oh,
So it's like
damn.
where the rich people live. So like for us, it was like a real treat, right? It's
Right.
like this is a once in a lifetime thing for us. But there's people in there that it's just like this is a Tuesday. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
So like there's a dude next to us, this white guy was hammered drunk. We're sitting there. He's got his fish, his his I don't even know what you call it. I do know what you call it.
Sashimi?
Sashimi. No, it wasn't sashimi. It was nigiri
Nigiri. Okay.
with the rice underneath it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So different nigiris. So he like you get it and you eat. It's not like he's repping these things out, right?
Hmm.
It's like, all right, here's one. You eat it. Now I'm gonna start making the next one.
Right.
So him and his wife were right next to us. They were drinking this whole time. They're old, talking way too much, and like the nigiris are backing up. Like he's four back, like just sitting there on his plate, and like the guy was Korean, not Japanese, and
Oh,
yeah, and he was like he was cool and stuff. Like me and Rachel were just happy to be there. We were just being like shy and like just hanging out
yeah.
and just like thank you, like just being respectful for the guy. And the guy was just asking him the dumbest questions. Oh, do you know Japanese? He's like, no, I'm Korean. Uh, yeah, different thing. And he would like say stuff under his breath because he knew this guy was just being an idiot, pretty much. And the guy wasn't meaning to be disrespectful. He was just stupid.
Yeah.
And so at one point he's like, "Yeah, I went to Japan for this long," and started talking in like Japanese to him, and it was so funny. The chef goes like right to his face, like, "Yep, still don't talk Japanese. I'm Korean."
Yeah.
So that him and his wife are hammered next to us. They got their tasting thing, their sake tasting or whatever, getting hammered. Like they're rich, they don't give a shit, and like
Absolutely
me and
don't.
Rachel were just there, like just so thankful that we were able to have opportunity to be here. And he has like a bunch of his like just backing up. You could just tell like it was definitely a special place because it had a Michelin star, but it didn't mean anything to them. So just because this guy next to us was
Dang.
like hammered and just like making it awkward between him and the person,
Right.
you could feel the tension, and it just kind of took away from it a little bit.
Dang. That's tough. That's especially that type of experience. How was like? Did you enjoy the food though? At least
Yeah, yeah. I
it
mean,
was just like the experience, I guess
it was
itself.
yeah. It would like it would have been awesome if like it was me, you, Rachel, Sydney, Nate, Claire, like
Yeah.
if it was just all us in there, it would have been freaking we all it would have been a really good vibes, good
Yeah.
times, all that stuff. But and then there was like some um a double date next to us too that was a little awkward. Like the guys were kind of like bros and kind of saying some dumb stuff too. So it was just like
Oh man. Yeah.
yeah, it was like just hard to try to block out. But me and Rachel did a good job. It was still really, really fun and a good experience and all that good stuff. But yeah, wait,
You're the type of diners I enjoy to have because like there's times where you talk and then there's times where you just sit down and you kind of like enjoy the food.
yeah.
Even though like in like Hispanic and Filipino culture, we talk while we eat, but like this is different. This is like an experience that you want to kind of like be present with the moment. And there's
Uh-huh.
times where you just like, yo, just shut up and try this food. And then when you're
Yeah.
done, because that's the point of omakase, if I'm correct again, is that they present you these like super super fresh meals that they make
Yeah.
right there for you, specifically portioned out with these little portions so you don't get full. Um, and like you talk in between, talk to the chef and have a fun time. But when it's time to eat, it's time like to be respectful.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. So you eat it when it's ready to go
Oh
to
man,
get the best version of it. And he's explaining like this is that, this has bone
that's
marrow,
so
gotta eat it
cool.
right away. Um and I mean everything is like made right in front of you. Like he had the torch with the bone marrow, and the
I'd
bone
be
marrow
nerding
was
out
like
there, dude.
yeah, like dripping into. So me and Rachel just quiet, just like watching him because we're just like, this is freaking sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's over here hammered with his wife, like just slurring and trying to talk Japanese to a Korean guy.
Yep, still can't talk Japanese.
Yeah,
I'm
he was like,
Korean.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it was sweet. But yeah, trying to get to some more restaurants. But I'm super excited for the food at you. I saw some pictures. My dad some pictures of the food. I was like, dang.
It was very good. But I will say that Funky Fresh is better.
Cool.
So what we have to do actually reply to the email tomorrow is send them exactly our same menu that we have at this place and let them make it. And
Hmm.
if they can make it better and for cheaper or the same but for cheaper,
Hmm.
we're just going with these guys. I was gonna say. Speaking of which, you guys in California are like obviously like in a huge culinary hub,
Hmm.
right? Santa Barbara, especially, like you guys are surrounded by all of these things to do. How um, do you like when you have time to do things? What do you emphasize the most when you're not out of work? Is it like, hey, we're gonna do some activities as in like, I know you guys like to go for your walk, or hey, we're gonna do some activities as today we're gonna go out into the town and then we're gonna finish it with a restaurant. Like, do you guys like to do your activities as going out to eat as a pleasurable fun time, or
Hmm.
is there something else you guys like to do for fun activities wise?
Um,
If that makes sense.
yeah, Rachel's more of a planner. I'm more of a, hey, I feel like doing this today.
Okay. Yeah.
So it kind of depends. Um, I would say it's just a lot what we're feeling like doing. Like we
Hmm.
like going to the movies a lot. If there's a good movie, like we just like the experience of getting popcorn and eating it and
Absolutely.
just hanging out with the reclining chairs. So we really like that. A lot of times we'll just like go to Target just to walk around and look at stuff. Like
That's dangerous.
super
That's dangerous
boring.
with homegirl. She's
Su-
damn it.
super boring. But sometimes it's just like, yo, we just need to get out of the house. And if it's dark here at like 5 o'clock, by the
Hmm.
time we get out of work, it's like dark. So like, can't really go on a walk. But I would say a lot of times when we go out to eat, it's not necessarily that was like the reason for going out. It was
Okay.
like we're out walking around
Right.
and we want to eat somewhere. Where do we eat now? Or where do we want to eat now? Unless it's like some type of event like Valentine's Day or something.
Do you
We'll
like that type of being having that having the ability to do so? Like my limited time in Michigan, it doesn't seem like Michigan's the most walkable of places. Like California to me
uh
seems like it's very walkable,
I mean it just depends on where you're at.
right? Like in this, does it make sense? Like Santa Barbara, when I see the pictures of Santa Barbara, it looks like everything's pretty interconnected. Like it's easy to
Yeah, you
walk
gotta
around the
walk around
town.
Santa Barbara. Like there's a main strip. There's a main strip in Michigan towns too.
Okay.
Like where there's like like Rochester where I went to college where Rachel parents live. There's like a downtown Rochester where there's just like restaurant,
Uh,
shops, stuff like that. So there's towns like that, especially like up north in Traverse City and things
mhm.
that has restaurants that's definitely walkable downtown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but you're right, there are like suburbs and well, you can walk around the suburb, but it's not like businesses
Right.
for the most part. So it just depends on like where you live. Like if you lived in downtown Detroit, like walkable,
Hmm.
like downtown Royal Oak, which is like a city, but a little bit, not a little bit, is smaller, walkable.
Okay.
So if you like live in a city, walkable for sure. But yeah, it just depends on where you're at. It can get very country though, just like North Carolina or anything like that,
You're not
where there's
wrong.
like just a bunch of like farmlands or
I like Michigan's
whatever.
country a little bit better than North Carolina's country.
Yeah, I would say so.
North
It's
Carolina's
not
country
like
gets a little,
tobacco.
yeah. North Carolina gets a little bit sketchy in the country.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
yeah. I don't. It's and it's a lot prettier. I like. I think for like acre by acre. I would say it's prettier.
Better temperature, even though Michigan can get hot. I just don't think it gets as hot as North Carolina. North Carolina is just
No,
unbearable at
no, it
times.
doesn't get as hot as
Um,
North Carolina
Not
for
as
sure.
humid, even though it can get humid, but it's still not as hot.
I don't know if that's true.
Like I was kind of unsure because you have both lakes and the third one too, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the metric is. Maybe North Carolina
Yeah,
is a little bit more humid, but I think that you may think that because it's just hotter with the
yeah,
humidity. You know what I
dude,
mean?
it's fucking unbearable.
So, but it does get pretty hot in Michigan as well and humid.
You guys get a
So,
lot of different temperatures up in there. I was surprised, honestly.
yeah. You definitely get all the seasons probably in like a week, within the same week,
Oh
depending
snap!
on what's going on. But yeah, dude. When hopefully we can get all together this summer,
Absolutely, man.
um, that'd be sweet.
We have a couple ideas coming up. I'm still talking to best man about it. Like either we're gonna have the wedding party, like still, find a place where everyone can stay together as plan A. Plan
Hmm.
B is that we find two houses next to each other and split it up, or we find a place that is cheap to stay at. Like, you guys come to Raleigh, or we go somewhere that's kind of equidistant for everybody, and we just visit there and we get our own place. Because,
Hmm.
like, that's the hardest thing to accommodate the size of a wedding party right now.
Yeah, yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's 20 people.
Yeah, that's really big.
Yeah. So, like, to accommodate it, to find a 20 person house, like a house that fits 20 people, bro, it hurt looking at it. It was like 11,000 a night. It was like, why? But why so much money?
11,000 a
Dude,
night.
I
Well,
looked at,
yeah, for a 20 person place. Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah. I mean,
So I
you
want
can just
to
get hotel rooms or something and then meet up somewhere. Like you
yeah.
could get an Airbnb for, a few people or and then the rest of the people stay at a hotel. Some people might rather stay in the hotel opposed to being in a house full of the
And you know
people.
what? That's actually not a
So,
bad idea either. Be like, hey, we're looking X, Y, and Z. Hey, we're trying all to head to Charlotte for
mhm.
Memorial Day. We have a couple accommodation ideas, but if you guys want to set it up yourself, you guys set it up yourself, and we'll see you there. That's not too
Yeah, like
bad
we're
either.
getting this house, we have this many, spots.
First come, first serve.
If you yeah, first come first serve if you prefer cuz yeah,
Yeah,
because I know like Rachel likes her own space, right? And
yeah,
obviously she'll be like 3 months from giving birth, so she probably like her own
yeah. She deserves
like
to have her own. Yeah,
decompression.
yeah,
You know what I mean, from all the excitement.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean I wouldn't try to look for a 20-person house. I would
Hell
say
no,
if there's 20 people, like maybe find a place that can accommodate 10, and then another 10 just get a hotel room close or something like
that's
that.
not a bad idea.
As long as people aren't driving drunk far away, I mean, they should be
That's not a bad idea,
fine.
bro.
Be fine.
Shit helped a lot. Do you also did the suit you had to your wedding? It was
Mm.
that a rental, or you still have that suit
Rental.
rental? Okay,
Hmm.
I'm having the groomsmen wear black tie, uh, black suit, black tie. Look like a Michael Bublé, like a very simple.
Like the Men in Black, like Will Smith.
Straight up, my
Is that what
bodyguards.
it is? I
Yeah,
don't know what Michael Bublé looks like.
you never see my man Michael Bublé?
I know the name.
Yeah, my man is he
But
is.
is it like tuck style or is it just like
No,
suit?
it's gonna be suit style, not tux.
Okay,
I'm not the biggest fan of a tux style.
gotcha. Okay,
It's gonna be
cool.
like you guys have a notch lapel, nice slim fit black suit, black tie, black shoes, white shirt. Um, you guys are gonna have a bouquet on your pocket, a pocket bouquet. Um, and I'm gonna see if Joseph A. Bank can supply as like almost everything, so you guys look as
Hmm.
uniform as possible.
Do they supply grills?
Grills too, I,
Yeah.
with your suspenders.
I'm gonna be the efficient, so when I talk, I want to see. I want people to see my
Yeah.
diamonds when every single time I open up my mouth. I
We
want
gather
everybody to see some
here.
shine.
Just straight up smiling. We gather here today.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know if that woman's crying or just smiling at me back. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to come, and then I want to be like, come walk down the aisle by myself to grills.
Oh no.
I'm sure your family would love it.
Yeah. Play was it Gold Everything by Trinidad James. Really add some shock value real quick there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Facts, facts.
yeah, man. Awesome, man.
Yeah. But all
Oh,
right, man. Uh, it looks like we're an hour 40 minutes deep, so I'll let you go. I know you
time
had a long
flies,
day
man.
today. I know.
It's been a long day,
Thank.
but this was a lot of fun, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, super, super fun, and we'll talk soon. And thanks for coming on. And uh, yeah, can't wait to get the wedding festivities going here.
Absolutely, my man. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we'll have you on again, I'm
Word, man.
sure. And yeah,
All right, man. You take it easy,
be
bro.
easy.
You
All
too, man.
right.
Take it easy.
All right. Peace.